Keith, you got anything?
Yes, I've got a couple of things that need approval. The first, Judge had already wanted me to do a quick oral briefing on the CMRS audit we had back in. The way that works, in order for us to get certified for E911, we had to do all the corrections in the county, all the roads, center lines, correct all of the odd evens, make sure everybody's good. Then they would send an engineer or two into the county, unbeknownst to us, and they would pick some random points, telephone numbers and addresses where those people could call in and see what happens on the screen down at 11 PD with the dispatch. They came in and did that. We had a list of names all over the county that would call into the police department. 2 auditors came in representing the board, CMRS board. And me and Sharon, John Thompson, the dispatchers, were all down there during the audit the whole time. Took most of the morning. And they actually did, they checked us, audited us on 3 components to the system. One, the mapping component. What comes up actually on the screen, if it's all accurate, roads were displayed good. If a little E911 red phone would come up when the call was placed. The second portion of the audit was when these hard landline people called in from out different parts of the county, see if it displayed right. See if it was if it was within 528 feet of the actual location of the residence. The third part of the component was cell phone, wireless. We called different people around the county and said, can you use your cell phone and call in 911? So we did that randomly. They did 20 landlines and they did 20 wireless. But first they checked the map. You're allowed to miss 33% of the calls. You've got to pass a 66% in order to get certified. The mapping component was 100%. The hard landlines were 100%. The cell phones were 100%.
That's great.
Nobody ever, I mean, I'm going to brag on Sharon and all of them, but nobody ever passes it first time with 100%. Somebody gets 1 or 2 wrong or something. We got none wrong. They were all good. Might call it luck. I don't know, but I think it's probably been 3 or 4 years of hard work. So the auditors, when they left, said, we can't officially tell you anything, but unofficially, you passed the flying colors. So in late June, we got, you've got this attached to your packet there, we got a letter from the CMRS director, I think his name is Edmund, saying that they were going to call a meeting sometime in July, take the auditor's findings, and will recommend that we pass the findings. What that'll mean is we'll start getting quarterly payments to run our center beginning in August. We'll probably apparently get 2. They said August 1st and August 15th. I don't know why they would give us 2 quarterly payments in 1 month, but that's the way they got it set up. We'll get about $100,000. That's roughly based on what state police and other people couldn't get. That's an annual payment of $100,000 paid on a quarterly basis. What will happen though, legislation was passed in July of this year, whereby that's going to be increased. We'll eventually get probably $130,000 to $140,000 annually to run the 911 system. So we're apparently going to be blessed. It's not going to stop because you have fallout points all the time from the phone numbers, and we have to correct it. We have to go out and check it. So it's an ongoing, moving target. We never quit. And you have 24 hours to actually correct the system once we get a computer fallout or incorrect. And I can see that because if you need emergency services, you need it. And we're going to continue to improve it, me and Sharon are. We're really holding the line on not letting people change their addresses to something else. And it really has paid off. I personally think one of the best things we did in this whole 4-year process that other counties don't do was, 1, name the roads for 911 purposes that are not county maintained. And make them put a sign up where it is. And I think Robbie will attest to that. Now, is that going to get better? Well, we hope so, because at some point, we're going to be notifying the people through the carriers, mail carriers, that you ain't got your sign up and you need to get a sign. New houses, new builds in the county. Me and Sharon talked about it this week, and I haven't talked to the judge about it, but I think what we're going to do is I'm going to compose a letter. And when we mail hard copy to the new address out, when I go out and do the address and say, here's your new house number, you're going to get a letter from us saying, it's required by ordinance to put a sign up. Signs are available at Newcomb Graphics. And you need to put it up within about 30 days or something after you occupy the residence. So I'm going to do that, and we'll try our best to keep it moving forward and keep it, but it is a moving target. So that's the briefing on that.
I know y'all done a lot of work on it. It's been 13 years, I see.
We tried to treat everybody fairly. And, you have people that, can you give? Yeah, we can give so much. We've got some weasel room on the addressing. I had one gentleman ask me, he said, I want an address, but he said, I've got an issue with numbers. He said, I don't want my address to have a 7 in it or a 9 in it. And I was able to accommodate. I'm here for your mom. So,
Keith, I'm a little bit confused. You talk about getting better. How do you get better than the 100%?
You don't.
I mean, I thought 100% was pretty
But you
good.
fall back. Well, these counties.
This one county went way back, didn't they? They quit and then they got in a lot of trouble.
If you don't keep it up right, because they can come in and spot check you.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen here. Sharon and I will keep it going.
Sounds good, buddy.
There's a couple of things I need approval on. We have the waste hire grant every year, $4,000, and that grant goes from July 1st to June 30th. Well, last year's grant, 2015 grant, 16 grant is over with. Any money you don't use, you have to return back to Frankfurt. Well, we used $2,848.25 of it. We need to send them back $1,151.75.
Send it back.
Motion for that.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Rickard?
Yes.
Unanimous.
And the second thing I need approval for is the New Birth Mission Church located on Holy Cross Road between Lowrider and Holy Cross is asked to clean 10 miles of roadside. It was a volunteer event, litter abatement, for $100 per mile. And I've checked our funding. We have plenty of money. I'm going to have to, they're probably going to be the last one that's approved till toward the end of the year because I've got to hold back money to buy bags and stuff with. But we've got enough to approve them at $100 a mile. I'll need approval for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Rickard?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
And thanks, Kat.
Tell Sharon thank you as
Yes,
well.
thank Sharon for us.
I've heard a lot of positive on the signs, and it helps in a lot more ways than people really realize. I know it helps Jimmy and Robbie and all them tremendously. I've heard a lot from different delivery drivers, and even in our business, finding a house it's so much easier.
I continue to get questions that GPS and Google Earth and stuff are not, UPS is not compatible, there's not synced with our system. Once we get certified, I keep telling them, everybody will adopt our system, and that over time, it will change and it will get good. And people seem satisfied with that explanation. And it's not perfect.
If you can find the road, and you can head down that road and see the sign, you can find, it makes it a lot easier.
Did you all ever look into that apartment complex on Miller Pike? It's
Yes.
got all the signs
Yes, we did.
bundled up together.
Yes, we did.
And I don't know what your thought process on that was, but if somebody else come in and built a bigger apartment complex, say had 50 units, are you going to put 50 signs out at the end of it? To me, it would be better to put one address for that area and then have the apartment owner
when they have a common,
It has the same physical address, but just a
Yes.
different.
and our ordinance kind of lets them do that as an elective, and we may want to change that at some point.
I
Confusion
know
out
you
there.
recommended, anybody come up here like that, you recommended that they do it ABC or 1, 2, 3.
Another thing too is a lot of people have put their address on the mailbox across the road from the driveway. Well, our ordinance doesn't really justify us citing anybody for doing that.
It says in it that how to, I mean, we give the directions out to do it, and some of them still.
We want to start enforcing that. It's going to be a can of worms, it really is. Because what we've got, I think, is certainly better than what we had, I guess.
I agree, but at what point do you say, no, that ain't gonna work?
Pardon?
At what point do you say, no, that ain't gonna work? If you got an ordinance, you should have to,
Right.
it is what it is.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's mine, for example, my mailbox is across the road with my signs in the yard. I mean,
Something the court might want to consider how far we want to take that. You know, do you send out letters? Who's going to send the letters out? When they balk on you, do you take them to court? Do you take them before the board? Who's going to be on the board? And if they don't do it, do you fine them?
Little John get a
I'll
hold
talk
of
to
it.
all of them, you know it.
Pardon?
I think the sheriff probably go out and talk to all of them.
What's the cutoff date for folks to have these signs?
Well, usually they'll, we suggest to put them up 30 days after they get them.
But I'm saying, we're past the distribution point now.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
When does this become official?
It is now. The
It
next
is
step
now.
is the post office is gonna help us,
Yeah.
figure
I
out,
noticed just a few, actually not that many, but just.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Just a second. With 300 plus miles of road in the county, it's really hard to find out who has their sign up and who don't. It really is. I've already worked it out with the local postal carriers. So, well, I'm going to give them a form, and they will note on the form who hasn't got their sign up. We might also want to put in there who has their sign up incorrectly.
Well, won't the postal carriers, like in Cronin Trailer Park, for example, they don't travel into the trailer park itself.
Right, they do the box. But see, we label those streets, and they have physical addresses on the streets. It's not a perfect system.
I know some signs on some of the trailers and sometimes not.
Right. And Mr. Cronin is kind of an absentee owner. Been a problem. Been a problem. But anyway, at some point, we'll give the form to the postal carriers, and they'll fill them out, and then they'll get a letter from our office saying you didn't get your sign up and you've got so much to do it, or we're going to take additional administrative action through our local, whatever.
I know Jimmy's really busy and things, so maybe the assistant county attorney could go out and see all these people, you know.
Pay mileage.
But we wanted to get certified and get all this main certification out of the way going forward. And like I say, it's a moving target. We're never going to stop. But the devil's in the details sometimes. And we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
So we need to work on getting some kind of enforcement.
It's in the ordinance. The enforcement is in the ordinance.
Is it?
A
Okay.
board of people, warm bodies, has to be established through the judge, where people who, I'm not putting my sign up, they go before the board and say, why can't you put the sign up? And they might waive it. They might have good reason. But if they don't, and then they still don't put their sign up, then our illustrious county attorney and assistant county attorney has their work cut out for them, because we get a criminal summons for them, take them to court, fine them, whatever. Let the judge work it out. That's in the ordinance.
Can we get John Arthur and Larry to sit on the board?
Well, we're going to have a board. That's the way it works.
All right.
All right, thank you, Keith.
Baby steps, baby steps.
Mark, you here for Barry?
Everything's potentially going well. The Icon project is up and running, being installed. think we'll see a big difference in water and sewer bills from that. What's being put in is working great. Slightly overpopulated, that's not unusual around the state right now.
What about our payments of the payment? I know the one payment came in from the state. Did we receive the other?
Yes, we have received payments since last time.
We've got some here from Barry to hire. They had, it looks like 3 individuals have left. He's wanting to hire 3 more.
Yes, these are just replacement positions, it's not
Okay.
new positions.
Motion to replace the 3 that left with.
Second.
We didn't name them or anything?
Everyone should have a copy.
You all see their names?
Yeah, Brett Brady, Alexis Melver, and Jamie Lewis.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Anything else, Mark?
Water heaters working good, Mark? Water heaters working good? The new water heaters, they working good?
They are working good. Again, just getting started with them, but they are working good. It takes a while to get the electric in to get them hooked up. So that's where the process is ongoing.
Thank you, Mark. Robert?
As of this morning, we were at 1,436 runs for the year. Give you the report there in front of you, the first one by destination. For the month of June, we've done 216 runs for the month of June. For the January 1 to the end of June was 1,395. Like I said, those reports there, if you all look at it, I've got some people I like to hire part-time. I'll give you all the names, and just do one motion to go. Part-time paramedic will be Angela Graham, part-time EMT, Ann Claire Thomas, part-time Derek Warner, and Henry DeWitt.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Well, let me say this too. All their background checks have been sent off. I haven't got them back yet, and this will be pending and everything. Okay.
Comes back. Okay.
Well, I think customarily, or that's part of understood process as long as everything checks out.
I wanted to bring them to you that way. If I got them back tomorrow or something, I'm going to get them sold.
Sounds good.
That's all I have. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Robbie.
I talked to Kay earlier today. She said everything was fine at the
Yeah, I
shelter.
talked to Larry and, done.
Anything else, Larry?
Get some truck troubles, I had something working on a truck or something.
Brakes or something? Well,
Everything else is supposedly good.
Good deal. Under old business, new business, consider approval of Marion County's FCC license renewal that are due on 7/11/2016, the amount of $150.
Motion.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item C is consider approval to allow Maker's Mark to pay for turning lane at the Visitor Center parking area. That's off the Bill Samuels Road there.
Do we have any idea what the number is gonna be on that?
About 45,000.
About 45? And they on board to pay?
That's what I've heard. I
That's
guess
what,
there probably should be some.
there'll be something drawn up before we do that, but they have agreed to pay that. That's something that probably should have been done in the initial
Well-
planning of it, but it got overlooked and didn't happen.
A motion under the understanding that they do sign some kind of agreement that they will actually pay the bill.
Second that.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item D is consider approval to remove guardrail on Bill Samuels Road. Maker's Mark has agreed to supply material to the site for the 3-to-1 slope requirement. They've actually already taken one side out and did fill them. They're gonna take the other side out.
It looks a lot better. Everybody that works there, and I've heard some truckers also say that they don't think they're getting squeezed in now.
Yeah,
It was
it's,
very tight through
it
there.
was a lot of traffic.
Motion on that?
Yes, we do.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item C is consider appointments for multipurpose planning committee. I know that they were requesting 2 fiscal court members. Anybody want to do it, or what?
Multi-purpose planning committee.
Exactly. Multipurpose facility planning committee.
Oh, I didn't
I
hear the
think Larry and
facility.
John Arthur would be good, two good choices.
Larry and, I think Larry and John, can we just,
Yeah, I
Since
think,
they like to nominate me for everything, so.
I honestly think you should be on it, because you got quite a bit of involvement. I mean, I'm not even,
Yeah.
I'll smack you.
I'm not
do
saying.
something right now on that, or?
We kind of need to. We're trying to, I know tourism is appointed. I think they're going to appoint 2 Monday. I don't know what city council's doing.
When does it need to be done? Is there a certain date?
Well, we need it pretty quick.
I'll volunteer for it, Judge.
Anybody else?
I think Larry's a planner.
I think Larry would be glad to do it.
Yeah, I think you would too.
I guess we need a motion to do that, though.
A motion?
Second.
And that he does want to do it.
Okay.
Don't want to force anybody.
Mr.
Second.
Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
And I think that's all I got.
Put Master Elder down as an alternative if he doesn't.
That's right.
What about the bill?
Okay, we got to pay the bills here.
I've got one more thing about this sign, I want to bring up the court there. All of the carriers that service this county, out in the county, not all of them leave out of this post office. We have Lexington, Houstonville carriers that service Gravel Switch. We have some out of Campbellsville. We have some out of New Hope, Barstow. And we have some out of Springfield. So, missing signs, not all the carriers out of the other agencies would maybe not be amenable to recording missing signs. We've had some issues with that before. We can get most of them, but the outskirts, the peripheral of the county, it's going to be hard to do that. Another thing that maybe the 911 board or somebody who meets with on a regular quarterly basis might want to consider. People are going to lose signs. You know, Dward Parkford ran over my sign out here in a wreck, and I ain't going to put it back up. Well, we've got to decide what we want to do with signs, because over time, it's kind of like our road signs. Somebody stole my sign, they say, well, you still got to put it back up. So it's going to be an enforcement issue. Like Jimmy said, Sheriff said, we kind of decide how far we want to go with this thing. Just wanted to bring that up.
Good point.
Very good. I've got one other thing too on the project I was working on for the lookout. We ran into one little hurdle, and I'll take the blame for it. I should have checked into it further. We're not going to be able to run overhead with the electric. We're going to have to go underground. We didn't realize we were going to have to get off the road as far as we were, and there's trees and things in the way that we cannot cut. So we're going to have to go underground with that. So it's going to require about an extra $5,300 to do the underground versus what we were doing before. We've already allocated the other 2,000 before on it. But I'm going to ask for a one-time contribution of the $5,300 to finish this, so we can go ahead and get our lighting and everything finished for the lookout. And then we'll look at our security cameras and things for that. So
What can that come out of?
contribute out of our community contribution fund.
Motion.
Thank you all.
Mr. Wicker? Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
In favor of doing this, so
I tell you who I'd like to commend is Jimmy Clemens.
Yep.
I furnish him with paint, fiscal court base with paint, and he's got a project where he goes up and paints it.
and they clean up trash up there. I've actually seen him and his wife both do that as well.
It's a thankless job, but they've really done well with
Does he know the cameras aren't up yet, up there?
I'm sure when he's working up there, he's got them on.
that. I tell you, it's so
You want everybody to look over you, don't you?
No, I'm not.
But I've also, like I said, I've got an electrician that's gonna come and help install all that, at no charge, and I've also got a guy that does tree trimming, where it's gonna come up and help trim all that back at no charge. So there's a lot of people pitching in and helping, so. Yep.
You got one landlord, you won't let the, one landlord won't let the electrician go across his land.
Yeah, that's where the extra money's coming in.
Yep.
Anybody else got anything?
We ever paid bills?
No, we haven't. Need a motion?
Lights off, Judge.
We don't want to do that.
If you have the property, you take it anyway.
Good. Make a motion, pay the bill.
Motion to pay bills with any additions if there are any. That's good.
Second.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Anything else?
I need to indulge me to use some of my community project money. $1,200 to the city of Loretta for the wonderful fireworks display. I try to help out with that. And whenever the Loretta Youth League got through playing ball, there was 260-some kids down there. I helped with some pizza for the party, and I like to use $350 to help pay for that.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Unanimous.
I firmly believe in athletics for young people. And when you get past 50, it's not near as necessary. Look at me, you can tell.
I got a couple things from you too.
Anything else?
No, not the present time.
Jackie?
I want to donate $3,000 of my community projects money to the Gravel Switch Community Center for chairs, and $1,000 to the Brownsville, City of Brownsville for a cleanup on the building.
Motion.
Second.
Second one for each one.
Oh, for that I am. I got
I
something.
thought you told me you still
I got
studying
something
over
from
there.
Mr. Coyle.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
And Master Coyle called, he wants to take $650 of his community projects money to seal and strip the playground in Calvary.
Self-strike.
Yeah, that's it.
Motion.
Second, whatever.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
And guys, it looks like Wicker's at this old thing again. He'll be broke in about 2 months and then he'll say he don't have any money.
Is that it, Jackie?
MTA.
Mr.
Second.
Masterson?